And this is a non-calculator paper, so don't use calculator at all. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So we are starting from question number 1, and the time is 12:09, or let's say 12:10. We are starting at 12:10. We'll try to make sure we'll complete this paper in less than 2 hours and try to go through the questions as well. So let's start. From 2025 onwards, the formula sheet is given to us. I hope you all are already aware. These are the set of formulas that are given to us. So whenever there is a question, we should make sure that we use the formula sheet and do not end up making any mistake. So let's start from question number 1. Write down the order of rotational symmetry of the diagram. So this is a diagram. You can see that we have 4 gray square box at the bottom, 4 gray box at the top. We have to figure out the rotational symmetry for the diagram. So what is the rotational symmetry? Rotational symmetry is the number of rotations we can figure out, then how many times we get the same shape again when we rotate the shape in 360 degree or one complete revolution. So we can clearly see that if we'll rotate it at 180 degree, we'll get the shape again, and we'll rotate at 180 degree again, we'll get the shape back again. So the rotational symmetry for this shape is 2, right? Moving on to question number 2. Okay, is this clear? Question 1.
Yes, sir.
I repeat, any doubt you have, you feel free to ask. Yeah, let's move on to question number 2. It says at noon the temperature in Maseru was 21 degrees Celsius. So at noon, always if you want to write, you can write 1 mark questions. And at midnight the temperature has fallen by 26 degrees Celsius. At midnight it is fallen by 26 degrees Celsius means minus 26 degrees Celsius. Work out the temperature at midnight. So temperature at midnight will be 21 minus 26 degree Celsius, that is negative 5 degrees Celsius, right? Moving on to next question. It says work out 0.3 multiplied by 0.07. Simply multiply 3 into 7. 3 into 7 is 21, and then count the number of digits after the decimal point. So 1, 2 and 3, but we have only 2 digits, so we'll put a 0 before 21, a point before this and this. So the answer is 0.02.
Excuse me, sir. Some
Yes.
of the papers have these type of sums for 2 marks. So we are supposed to just 3 upon 10 into 7 upon 100, the working.
This, see, if it is 2 mark, always show the working. That's the rule. Any question which is more than 1 mark, always show the working.
Okay.
But generally this question will come for 1 mark, where you just have to multiply 2 numbers and write it in the correct order of decimal places.
All right.
Okay. Next one. Now next one is little different. 8 divided by 0.2. So can we write it like this? 8 divided by 0.2. And then because we have only 1 digit after the decimal point in the denominator, multiply by 10 and 10, we will get 80 divided by 2, and that is 40. So 40 is the answer. So I think this is what Priyanshi was talking about.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's move on to question 4 now. It says write down a square number greater than 10. Any square number which is greater than 10? A perfect square number? 16?
16.
Okay. Reciprocal of 20. So reciprocal of 20 will be 1 upon 20. So 1 upon 20 is the answer.
Do we have to write in decimal form in this reciprocal?
Not necessarily. Both are correct. They asked us reciprocal of 20. Reciprocal of 20 is 1 upon 20. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Moving on to question number 5. It says work out the area of trapezium. So now whenever you will get questions based on area and perimeter, whenever you get questions based on area and perimeter, you just have a look if the formula is available or not. Do we have area of trapezium formula here? No. So there are many such formulas that we have to remember. It will not always be there in the formula sheet. Formula sheet is only to cross check, but ideally we should remember all the formulas. So area of trapezium is sum of the two parallel sides, that is a plus b, multiplied by the perpendicular height whole divided by 2. So the two parallel and opposite sides is 7 and 11. So 7 plus 11 multiplied by the perpendicular height, that is 6 whole divided by 2. So it is going to be 7 plus 11 is 18 multiplied by 6 divided by 2. 2 ones are 2, 2 nines are 18, 9 6 are 54.
We have to show the formula in every case, right? Even though it's 1 marker, 2 marker.
Not necessarily 1 marker, but for 2 markers, even when you write down the formula and when you substitute all the values correctly, and for example your final calculation is wrong, then also you will get 1 marks.
Okay.
Why?
Because
your method was correct, substitution was correct, but calculation mistake is there. That is why you will get partial marks. But if you will not write the correct substitution formula is not necessary, by the way. It is not mandate in Cambridge to write the formula, but if you substitute properly, then you will get partial marks. But that goes only for like a 2 marker or 3 marker question, not for like, let's say, even for let's say if the question is for 6 marks, then we will not get 3 marks for that. We will still get 1 mark for that if everything is wrong. But we will not think about that it will go wrong. It will definitely go right. So let's move on now. Question number 6. Just a second. Question number 6. It says BC is equals to AB, or AB is equals to BC length, and ABD is a straight line. Find the value of x. So value of x is marked over here. If AB and BC are equal in length, that makes the triangle as an isosceles triangle, right? So if this is 50 degree, it's a straight line. So definitely this is going to be 130 degrees, right? If this is 130 and we have to work out the value of x, so value of x will be 180 minus 130 divided by 2. So that is going to be 50 divided by 2, which is 25 degrees Celsius. Degree only, not Celsius. 25 degree angle. Right? This is question number 6. Is this clear to everyone how we are doing these calculations?
yes, sir.
Okay. Let's move on to question number 7 now. It says write 0.0067 in standard form. This is a small number. That means when we will write the number in the standard form, the exponent is going to be negative. So just write down 67 as 6.7 multiplied by 10 raised to. How do we figure out the exponent? So see, this decimal point, we are shifting from here to next to 6 or between 6 and 7.
Yeah.
So now you have to count the digits between the decimal point and the new decimal point. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So negative 4. So answer will be 6.7 multiplied by 10 raised to negative 4. Clear to everyone? Shall we move on? Next question, question number 8. It says work out 1 3 by 4 minus 11 upon 12. Give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. These terms are extremely important. A common error which I have identified, students do solve it perfectly, but they don't simplify it later. So first we have to solve it also, and then we have to simplify to its simplest form. So the first fraction is 1 3 upon 4. 1 3 upon 4. So 1 3 upon 4 can be written as 4 into 1 is 4 plus 3. 7 upon 4 minus 11 upon 12. That's the first step. Second, we'll use the concept of equalizing the denominator. The denominator for the first fraction is 4. So if we'll multiply by 3 and 3, we'll get 21 upon 12 minus 11 upon 12. Now 21 minus 11 upon 12 is going to be 10 over 12. also have to simplify. This is going to be 5 over 6. So the final answer will be 5 over 6. Clear? Yeah? Okay, any questions?
None, sir.
Okay, we are moving on now. Question number 9. It says describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle T onto triangle U. So this is the shape T, and we have to describe the transformation from T to U. So first thing that we'll do, we can clearly see that this is the case of enlargement.
Enlargement.
So first thing we'll do, we'll join the common vertex like this using a scale and a pencil like this, and the last one like this. So first we'll write this is the case of enlargement. What is the center of enlargement? The center of enlargement is the point through which all the three lines are intersecting. So this coordinate, which is 3, 4. Can you see 3, 4? The point of intersection here, the common point of intersection. So center is 3, 4. And because it's a coordinate, we'll write it in the brackets. One more thing we have to mention, the factor, right? So we can see that the length, let's say the base of the triangle was 2 and the height of the triangle was 4 units. We can see that the base is changed from 2 units to 1 unit. The height of the triangle, which was 4 units, is changed to 2 unit. That means the factor is 1 upon 2, right? But because the shape is also inverted, it's not exactly the same. It will be -2, -1 upon 2, not 2. Clear?
So there are some questions where there's a big graph, and there are like two triangles where we have to show translation, rotation, and enlargement. In this cases, do we have to keep those lines that we have made for rotation? We are making the
For each
perpendicular.
part, yes. If you want to make it, tidy, you can erase the extensions. But you have to show this. This is the working.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
But what
But
if
always sketch it using scale and pencil, so that by any chance if there's an error or any mistake, you can erase it. Yeah.
so if suppose like there is rotation or rotation, the rotated image comes in between of these lines which are made, the annotations, and it is not clear, then what do we do in that case?
So in case of rotations, we use tracing paper. So whatever you trace it on the paper, not on the diagram.
I use the perpendicular bisector method, that's why.
Okay. But then also you have to keep it like intact like this.
All right, got it.
And you're using, I got it. There are two methods. One is tracing paper, but tracing paper is like way easier than the perpendicular bisector method. You try once tracing paper method also. It will save your time a lot.
All right, okay, got it.
Okay. We'll move on to the next
the
question.
tracing paper method,
Yes.
like, should we just
Hello.
so in the tracing paper method there is no working, right? Yes, am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible, Hitarth. Yes, there is no working. There is working, but it's not visible on the graph. But it's fine. You still have to describe your transformation. You will write down rotation, center of rotation, angle of rotation, direction of rotation. So if it is precise, then only you will get the correct description for the rotation, right? Or the transformation.
And in this enlargement question, can I like mismatch the order of my writing, like enlargement, scale factor, center?
That is fine. But you can clearly see this is a 3-marker question. We cannot miss out on any of these 3 information: enlargement, scale factor, and center. All three information we have to write to get full score in this question. Same in
And
case
so
of yes.
in case of translation, only one vertex can be shown, right? Like the movement should be shown in only one vertex, not all the three vertices.
In
Vertices.
of translation,
Yeah,
yes.
in
In case
translation.
of translation, you can pick any one vertex and you can move that you and match with the corresponding vertex. That's all.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Question number 10, it says simplify 8t raised to 8 divided by 4t raised to 4. So first we'll write it down as in the fraction form. That makes thing very easy. So divide numbers with numbers, 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8. And now we have 2t raised to 8 minus 4. Because the law of Hentai says that when two numbers are divided with same base and different exponents, the exponents subtract. So final answer will be 2t raised to 4. Clear? Okay, let's move on to question number 11 now. Question 11, it says the line y equals to 3x minus 2 crosses the y-axis at G. Write down the coordinates of G. Okay. For example, let's say it is like this. It crosses the y-axis. It says the line crosses the y-axis at G, and you can clearly see from the function only that the y-intercept is -2. So it is going to be 0, -2, right, at this point. So 0 and -2. The diagram was for us to understand. It is not required that we have to sketch it, but it is just for our understanding. Moving on to question number 12. P is a vector given to us in the column vector form, 4, 6. Q is -2 and 7. Find 2P plus Q. So first we'll find 2P. So 2P is going to be 2 multiplied by P, that is 4 and 6. So that's going to be 8 and 12. And it says write 2P plus Q. So 2P plus Q is going to be, this is 2P and plus Q, that is -2, 7. So answer is going to be 6 and 19. Clear? So this was question number 12, A1. Second, it says find the exact value of this. Right? What does this mean? Anyone can tell me? What is the
Magnitude of the P vector.
Magnitude.
Perfect. So this is the magnitude of the P vector. So whenever we have to find the magnitude of P, we'll do the under root of x square plus y square. That's the formula. So we'll plug in the x component and y component, that is 4 square plus 6 square. So that is 16 plus 36, right? 16 plus 36 will be 52. 52 will be 2 root 13.
But so this is in a okay. It's in a simplest form. Okay. Exact value means it will be in surds, right?
It says give your answer as a surd in its simplest form. This is also a surd, root 52, but it is not in its simplest form. How will we find the simplest form of the surd? Find the factors. 2 times 26 is 52. 2 times 13 is 26. 13 ones are 13, right? So we are getting pair for 2, but for 13 we are not getting a pair. Hence we are writing 2 root 13, and that is the answer, which is in form of surd and in its simplest form. So final answer will be 2 root 13 and not only root 52. Root 52 is the final answer, but it is not in its simplest form. So you have to simplify.
So if suppose surd is given over here, if there are some questions that find the exact value of magnitude of P, exact value means surd, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Exact. See, I'll define the exact value meaning. Let's say your answer is 3.3333, right? So this is recurring, right? This can't be exact. But what if you're getting 1 by 2? 1 by 2 is also exact. 0.5 is also exact, right? So this we have to understand. If let's say we are getting in form of surd, root 16. So root 16 can be written as 4. That is exact. But if we are getting root 10, then we cannot write it in decimal. That will not be exact. Then we have to leave it in third. Clear?
And so then if
Yes.
there's a circle ka question and there's area been asked, so then in that, if exact value has been asked, so we have to leave it in terms of pi, right?
In terms of pi, or if you're getting answer in terms of, let's say, fraction 3 by 7. So if you'll do 3 by 7, 3 divided by 7, you are getting a very big recurring number. So when it says exact value,
Yes.
leave it as 3 upon 7. Don't write it in decimal then. Okay? And if your answer is coming
That means 3 upon 7 pi or
exactly,
something like
then
that.
you leave it as 3 upon 7 pi. Don't multiply with 3.14. Okay?
Not even 22 by 7.
No.
No? Okay.
No. Part B, it says A is a point 4, 1 and AB is minus 3, 1. Find the coordinate of B. Now, there are two ways to figure out the answer for this one. Let's say you draw a rough sketch. Yeah. This is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is our x-axis. Y-axis 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is our y-axis. Now, 4, 1 will definitely be here. Point A, 4, 1. And then it says AB, which shows the translation of negative 3 units and 1 unit. Negative 3 is for x component or movement along x-axis. 1 unit is movement along y-axis. So from here, if we'll go 3 units to the left, because it's minus 3, 1, 2, and 3, this point, and y is positive, so 1 unit up. So this point will be your B coordinate, right? So B coordinate is 1, 2. So answer will be 1, 2. This is one way. Or the second way is you simply add the x component with negative 3. So 4 and negative 3 will be 1. And y component with y component 1 plus 1, that is 2. So 1, 2 is the answer.
So if suppose we are doing any sketching with a pencil, do we have to leave it over there?
You can leave it. That's fine. This is your working. You can leave it. This is your geometrical working. And this is in terms of numbers.
Okay.
You have to do any one, not both. But let's say if you want to cross check one with diagram also, geometrically, that whether I'm correct or not, then you can leave it. It's fine. It will count it as your working.
So there's no need to like erase everything in the end.
This you need not to erase, but let's say you are doing some calculation because it's a non-cal paper and you wanted to multiply 275 multiplied by 3. Instead of doing it here, do it in the additional page at the end.
So geometric workings can be left over there. Arithmetic and algebraic or whatever workings we do, it has to be done on the blank page.
Yes, but here clear evidence of your calculations and working should be shown. How you are getting an answer, that you have to show. Moving on to question number 30 now. So this is a question based on circle theorems. Let's check. It says A, B, C, and D lie on the circle center O. TA is a tangent to the circle at A. TA is a tangent to the circle at A at this point. ABC is 131 degree. Everything is already marked on the diagram also. And angle ADB is 20 degree. ADB is 20 degrees. Find angle ADC. A, D, and C. They're asking for this angle. Right? In this angle, we can clearly see ADB is already known to us, that is 20 degrees, right? The other half is this. We don't know it is exactly half, or we can say the other remaining portion or remaining part is X. Now, in the cyclic quadrilateral, this diagram you can clearly see that if you see A, B, C, D only, it is a cyclic quadrilateral. As per the definition, a cyclic quadrilateral is a quadrilateral which is sketched inside the circle. In that, the opposite angles adds up to 180 degree. That means 20 plus X plus 131 degrees is going to be 180 degree as per the formula. So now we can write X is equals to 180 minus 151. Can we write like this? Hello?
So
So this is going to be how much? 180 minus 151 is how much?
29 degrees.
29 degrees. Perfect. But we are asked to find ADC. We are asked to find ADC, A, D, and C. So if X is 29, ADC is going to be 29 plus 20. ADC will be 29 degrees plus 20 degrees, that is 49 degrees. Is this clear? Perfect. Next is angle AOC. AOC. So AOC is, let's say, this angle, right?
Yeah.
Is this correct? AOC?
No.
Angle AOC. Now we know that there is one more formula that says angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. That means if this angle is 131 degree, if they are subtended from the same arc, we can clearly see that both of these angles are subtended from the same arc, this one, right? From here you have two angles, this also and this also, right? So there is a theorem which states angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. That means on the opposite side, this angle will become twice 262 degrees, right? And we have to find AOC this side. So it is going to be 360 degrees minus 262. 262 degrees. This is going to be how much? 360 minus 260, 100, 100 minus 2, 98 degrees. Clear? Okay, let's move on to the third part. It says angle BAT. B, A, and T. This angle. So this is alternate segment theorem. This is 20. This will also be 20 degrees by alternate segment theorem. So we can simply write angle BAT is 20 degree. The property we need not to write. If it is for 2 marks, some questions are there like this, where you have to mention the angle because dash. There you have to write down the angle 20 degree because of alternate segment theorem, that you have to mention. But it is just a 1 marker question. We just have to mention the angle. That's it. Next is angle OAB. O, A and B. This angle they are telling us to find. In the question, it was clearly mentioned that TA is tangent to the circle at A. And as per the property, tangent to the circle is always perpendicular to the radius. That means this whole angle is 90 degree. So 90 minus 20, this is going to be 70 degrees. Clear? Any questions?
So sometimes there are like complex angles. That means like if you remember, there is 5 marks question with W, X, Y is there. In that, it's a 5 markers question with 4 blanks. That means there's 1 blank somewhere for the working. So we have to show that working, but for which of the one? The most complex one or every single one?
Mostly, see, many questions can be done without calculation. Like when we did the third one and the fourth one, C and D, there was no calculation. It was
Yeah.
purely based on property. But you can clearly see for the first one and the second one, there was some working involved where we had to solve and then figure out the answer. In that case, you should do the working, because anyways we are going to do the working, whether we do it mentally or at the back of the page, additional page, it's better to do it here, right?
Okay. So this working has to be shown in pencil or a pen?
This with pen only. But the only thing is you should be sure that, because the moment you cross out anything here, then you don't have any space.
Okay.
Yeah. So you should be very sure then, or start with the pencil calculation. Have the pencil with you. Do the annotations on the diagram using a pencil. All the annotation using a pencil. Once you are sure that everything is correct, now I have cross-checked also, then you can rewrite with pen. That is fine.
So you added one more variable over here. If you see that x1.
This.
Yes.
Yeah.
If suppose we are writing like with angles, we are doing the calculation with angles, like BAC is equals to this. That's why this is equals to that. So when we include that variable, do the examiners see that where I have included the variable?
Yes. Yes.
We do see that, right?
Yes.
In Trigo's questions of 6-7 marks, when we bifurcate a triangle or something and we add a variable, do examiners see that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
All the working annotations in the diagram, if we go to the instruction, it says use a black or blue pen. You may use HB pencil for any diagrams or graphs. So all the diagrams, wherever you are doing the annotations, first of all, it is suggested to use the pencil. Second, yes, it will be cross-checked by the examiner.
So nothing has to be erased, right? For
Nothing has
cleanliness
to
or
be erased.
nothing.
Only simple calculation where you are multiplying two numbers to get your answer. If you're dividing two numbers to get your answer, that working you should do it in the rough, because that need not to be there. That's why.
All right. Thank you.
Because the questions can be solved using geometrical method and using formulas as well, right? So if you're doing the annotation, basically you're solving it with geometrical approach. Let's move on now.
And sir, in the circle question in the 13th one,
Yes.
So you used x as the variable.
Yeah.
So instead of that, can I use angle BDC?
Okay.
Like that.
Yes, you can write angle BDC. The only thing in writing BDC is this, that it will eat your time.
Okay.
That's why what we did, we defined that this angle is angle X, and in the equation we are using angle X instead of angle BDC. So it will become easier to you and it will save your time. Because ultimately we have to find this AOC, or I think ADC, right? ADC. And we need not to write even ADC, it is already written over here. Okay. So what you have asked, that is not incorrect, but if you want to save time, giving a variable is easier. Moving on to question number 14 now. It says rearrange the formula to make y the subject. First we'll rewrite the equation. H square is equals to x square plus 2y square. Let's isolate the term which contains y square. So we can write h square minus x square, which is equals to 2y square. Then we can write y square is equals to h square minus x square whole divided by 2, and then y is equals to plus minus under root of h square minus x square by 2. So that's your final answer.
I sometimes miss the plus minus. Is it compulsory to write?
Ideally, yes.
Okay.
Because any quadratic equation gives us how many solutions?
2 solutions.
2 solution. If you are writing only plus, that means we are not writing the other one. That's why mathematically it is required that we write both the answers. Okay, question number 15, it says Ella's height is this clear? The previous question number 14 to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, I hope you all are also solving in between. If you feel like any question is extremely difficult, then you definitely solve that question with me. If you are still missing, like skipping 1 or 2 marker question, that is fine. But any question which is like 3 marker, or now most of the other questions now, do solve with me, and so that you can ask doubts. Question number 15, it says Ella's height is 175 centimeter. Correct to nearest 5 centimeter. Write down the upper bound of Ella's height. Now we have to find the upper bound. So first we have to find the factor that we are going to add here. So half the degree of accuracy, half into the degree of accuracy is 5 centimeter, nearest 5 centimeter. So that is 5 centimeter, which is 2.5. And if we so this is the factor that we have to add or subtract to find the upper bound or the lower bound. In this case, we only have to find the upper bound for the height. So the upper bound for the height is going to be 175 plus 2.5 centimeters. That is 177.5 centimeters.
So actually one of my marks was cut.
Right? That's why we are shading on the left hand side, exactly opposite to what the inequality is telling us to do. Second one is y equals to x, or it says y greater than equals to x. Now in this case, it's a slant line. Whenever there is a slant line, you pick any one coordinate either above the line or below the line. Let's say I'm picking any random coordinate like this. This coordinate is 6,4. Right? For the second one, y greater than equals to x, and I am picking 6,4. Is 4 greater than equals to 6? Is this true or false? It's a false statement. Whenever the statement is false, that whole region is your unwanted region. Okay, that means we have to shade below now, or I would shade exactly the way you have to shade in the examination, because I have this highlighter. Instead of using the highlighter here, I suggest you shade it like this, using a scale and a pencil. I'm not using the scale here. Using a scale and a pencil, you shade it like this. Don't like just shade, just draw the straight lines like this, and then here like this. Is this clear? Now the third line. The third equation is 2x plus y lesser than equals to 8. Now this is the third line. The easiest coordinate that we can pick, eyes on the screen please, the easiest coordinate that we can pick for the third line is 0, 0, because 0, 0 is below the line. So we are picking 0, 0. So in that case, 0 plus 0 lesser than equals to 8. So 0 lesser than equals to 8. Is this true or false? This is true. If this is true, that means this is the wanted region, not the unwanted region. Right? And we have to shade the unwanted region. Hence, we will shade the opposite side. So, this side. Clear? So, ultimately, the required region is this part, R. Okay? Is this question clear to everyone? Any doubts in linear programming?
So, how are 5 marks like given in all of this?
So you have 3 marks for your lines. Now, there are two types of line. One is your regular line, like this.
Yeah.
And one is your breaking line, right? When the inequality is either greater than and equals to or lesser than equals to, you use the regular line. When the inequality is only lesser than or greater than, you use the breaking line. Because in equals to, the point on the line will not be considered. Hence, you have to sketch a breaking line. So coming back to the question, sir, how we will get the marks in this? To draw the lines properly, you have 1 marks, right? 1 mark each. To shade properly, you have the remaining marks. Okay? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are moving on to the second part now. It says the point P lies on the region R. So now in this region, there is a point P. We don't know where it is. It says the coordinates of P are A, comma B. Write down the largest possible values of A. Now, if we see exact coordinates at P, we can see that we have 2, 2, we have 2, 3, we have 2, 4, and then we don't have any exact coordinate. Even if we see this one, this looks like let's say 2.6, maybe 2.6, not the exact coordinate, right? So this is 2, 2, this is 2, 3, and this is 2, 4. They're asking us to find the largest possible value where the coordinate is A, B, but we have to add the coordinates A plus B. So that is going to be 2, 4, because 2 plus 4 is going to be 6, and they're asking us the largest possible value of A and B. So that's going to be 6. Clear? Any questions in this?
None, sir.
Okay. Let's move on to the next question now. Question number 17. It says triangle ABC is mathematically similar to triangle PQR. Triangle ABC is similar to PQR. Step 1. Mark your shape. Let's say this is shape 1 and this is shape 2. Okay. The area of triangle ABC is 15 centimeters square. ABC is 15 centimeters square. And what is asked? Work out the area of triangle PQR. Area of triangle PQR, A2 is asked, right? So we have the formula to find the area of the similar shape, that is scale factor of area. we can write A2 upon A1 is equals to L2 square upon L1 square. Because A2 is missing, we started from A2. If in case A1 would be missing, we would have started from A1. So A2 is missing, so we can write A2 upon A1, that is 15, L2 square. So this is your L2, this is your L1. So 12 square upon 6 square. So A2 is going to be 12 square. We can write 12 into 12 into 15 divided by 6 square. We can write 6 and 6. So both by 2, 6 1 is 6, 6 2 is 12, 15 2 is 30, 2 is 60. 60 centimeter square is the answer. That's the area of the second triangle PQR. Clear? Any questions in?
None, sir.
Okay. Should we move on to part B now? Okay, part B says the triangle are the cross sections of a prism which are also mathematically similar. The volume of the smaller prism is 300 centimeters square. Okay, so what they are saying, these are the cross section of a prism. Let's say the prism is like this. Yeah. Let's say the prism is like this. What they are saying, calculate the length of the larger prism. Length of the larger prism, we have to find this, right? Can we find the length of the smaller prism first? This L. How can we do that?
The volume is given, so area of cross section is equals
V
to
equal to
volume.
AL.
Yeah.
V1 upon V2. First we can find the volume of the smaller prism is given. Let's find the volume of the bigger prism. So V2 upon V1 is equals to L2 cube upon L1 cube. Can we write like this? So V2 upon 300 is equals to L2 cube, that is 12 cube upon 6 cube, right? That's going to be V2 is equals to 12 into 12 into 12 into 300 divided by 6 into 6 into 6. So this will cancel out. You'll get 2 into 2 into 2. So V2 is going to be 300 into 8, 2400, right? So 2400 centimeter cube is the volume of the second prism, and we have to find the length. We know the formula, volume is actually cross-sectional area multiplied by the length. So volume is 2400 for the other one. Cross-sectional area is 60 centimeters square. So multiplied by 60 multiplied by L. L is going to 2400 divided by 60. 0 cancel. 6 1s are 6. 6 4s are 24 with one additional 0. 40 centimeters is the answer.
So can I go like first finding the length of the smaller one first and then going for the L2 directly using similarity?
You can do that also. You can find this L first because the volume is given, cross section. You can find this L first, and then with similarity you can find this, or you can find the volume of the second shape first the way we did, and then use the formula volume is equals to cross sectional area into length, and you can find. In both the cases you will get the same answer. Okay, let's move on. Question number 18. It says a cylinder with radius 2 centimeter and height h centimeter. So roughly just sketch a small cylinder here to understand the scenario. It says the radius is 2 centimeter and height is h centimeter. Has the same volume as a sphere with radius 3 centimeter. Okay, what's the volume of sphere? 4 by 3 pi r cube. And they are saying it is equals to the volume of cylinder, that is pi r square into h. Let's substitute all the values. 4 upon 3 pi, r cube is 3 cube, which is equals to pi, r square is 2 square into h, and h is the only variable that is missing. Pi cancel out. This is going to be 3, and this 3 cube will become 3 square actually. So 4 into 3 square, so 3 into 3 divided by 2 square, which is 2 into 2, that is equals to h. So 2 and 4, 2 and 2 into 2 and 4 will cancel out, h is equals to 9. Clear?
So in questions like these, like the 3 markers, 4 markers, if suppose the working is wrong, the answer is wrong. At that point of time, we've already done with a pen, and then like when we recheck, we know that oh, this is wrong. Where should we do the correct working?
So now you can see when I started this question, I was using the left portion. I did not extended, I'll show you. I did not extended this part here and then this part here, let's say, right?
Yeah.
That was the only reason, that by any chance we end up making mistake, I still have the scope that I'll do this, I'll cross it out this, and then I'll just mark that this is my working, and I still have half space to work it out.
Now, so sometimes if we write the question like this entire work is done in Trigo, it happens a lot, and even show whatever this question
There is
is given.
in that case, there is a provision of taking additional page.
We can take it now. We can write
You
now.
can,
The working is on an additional page, and they will check it, right?
yes, there is a provision of asking for additional page. You can ask for additional page. Page will be provided to you. Then you will attach it with the your answer, like additional page, right? There is one additional page only with the paper.
There's
If
the
that
blank page is an additional page, right?
that blank page is your additional page, let's say you have utilized that completely for your working, you can still ask for additional page, attach it, and mention it here that the working for question number 18 part A and B is done on the additional page, mark the page number, complete it there.
Oh, mark
Okay,
the page number and answer. We have to write it in the blank only, right?
here,
Yeah.
yeah, you
If
can write down here and there also.
okay.
There is a provision that paper will be provided and examiners have to check each and every page, even the blank page will be checked.
So if I write my h equal to 9 on the blank page, then will that be checked or only basis of this blank line will be checked?
This is not a one marker question. You cannot write only 9. The
Like,
answer for this is you have to show your working on the blank page
yes.
and you have to write your final answer on the blank page. And here you can just mention out that question number 18 part A is done on the additional page, page number let's say 28. Okay. Okay. Moving on to part B now. It says a solid metal cube has side length of 20 centimeter. There is a solid metal cube like this with side length 20 centimeter. The cube is melted down and made into
Then
40.
one more doubt I had.
Yes.
So like I have done my working and then I have written h equals something else there other than 9 and I don't have any space in the blank line. So ये जो h equal to a line, I don't have any space. So then where to write that answer? Should I write it on the top of it or like on the blank page only full?
In that case, by any chance, if you have space here, you write down h equals to 9 centimeter, box it out,
Okay.
mention that this is my answer. That's it.
Okay, so that will be allowed. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Workings done with pencil is not allowed, right?
No.
Okay, got it.
You have to write with pen only. There is a clear instruction. Diagrams and graphs with pencil. That's all. Diagrams and graphs with pencil. Rest everything with pen. So the only scope is what if we do anything incorrectly and we realize it later. Try to manage the space. If you're unable to manage the space, utilize your additional page. There will be more than one additional page, by the way. Try to utilize that. Now, this question says that a solid metal cube has a side length of 20 centimeter. The cube is melted down and made into 40 small solid spheres, each with radius r. So radius is r here. Okay. We have to show that that small r value is this. What did we just learn? That the volume of cube the volume of cube is equals to 40 multiplied by volume of sphere? This is the case. So volume of cube is going to be side cube. So 20 cube multiplied by the volume of sphere, that is 40 multiplied by 4 upon 3 pi r cube. This is the question. 20 cube is going to be 8000 multiplied by 3 divided by 40 into 4, and pi will also go in denominator only, so I am writing additional pi over here. That is equals to r cube. Now cancel out whatever you can. So 0 0, 4 1s are 4 2s are, so this is 200. Then this is what, 50.
50. Yeah.
50 into 3, 150. So r cube is equals to 150 divided by pi. R is going to be cube root of 150 divided by pi. And this is what we had to show. Answer. Done.
Do we have to write shown or anything?
No. Nothing shown or anything we don't have to write. If this is a proof question like this, just box out your final answer. They will understand everything is done here, and this is the final proof.
So there was a question in my mocks ka paper. It was P2 only. So like in that there was a cylinder. There was a dimension of the cylinders given, and there was a cuboid. So like that in the cuboid, how many maximum of the cylinders can fit? So in that I had done volume bigger volume upon smaller volume karke. So that was given right. But then ma'am showed that this won't be the answer I have given right, because this is what we have learned. But then ma'am showed ki you have to do it by dimensions wise, ki like the radius was 15. So like that karke sir.
So if you have confusion, you can send it on the group later. I can check onto that, because right now I can see it's blur. We don't have the exact data, so you can put it in the group. I'll look into it. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Moving on to part C, it says a solid cylinder has a radius of x centimeter height. So again, just to understand this better, let's sketch a cylinder. They're saying that a solid cylinder have radius x, radius is x, and height is 7x by 2. This is the question. Then it says the surface area of the sphere this time with radius capital R is equals to the total surface area of the cylinder. So the formula for the surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r square, right? And that is equals to the total surface area of the cylinder. The total surface area of the cylinder formula is 2 pi r h plus r. So 4 pi capital R square, that is equals to 2 pi, r is x over here, and h plus r, h is 7x by 2 plus r is x. So this is going to be 2 pi x multiplied by 9x by 2. Can we say that? So this 2 and 2 will cancel out. We have pi times 9x square, which is equals to 4 pi r square. Pi will cancel out. We have 4 capital R square, that is equals to 9x square. So again, we can write it as because we have to make r the subject of the equation, we can write r square equals to 9 upon 4 x square. Hence, r is going to be 3 upon 2x. If we take a square root on both sides, we will get r is equals to 3 by 2 x. Clear? So this was also a proof question. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
We can move on now. Question number 19. It says a function is given to us. So these questions are based on function. Functions are of many types: exponential function, compound function, also known as composite function, basic function, inverse functions. So we'll try to solve the problems, whatever we'll get. It says find h of 3. So h function is 4 raised to x. So h of 3 will automatically be 4 raised to 3. That is going to be 64. Right? 4 into 4 into 4, that is 64. Second, part B, it says f of g of 1. Whenever you have a composite function, always start from the right. So the right side function is g of 1. First find g of 1. So g of 1 is going to be 1 square plus 1 because it is x square plus 1. 1 square plus 1 is 2. That means the value of g of 1 is 2. So we have to find f of 2 now because g of 1 is 2. F of 2 will be 3 times 2 plus 2. So 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2, that is 8. Hence, f of g of 1 is equals to 8, and 8 is the final answer. Clear? Any questions in this? Okay, we're moving on to part C. There are three functions, f of x, g of x, and h of x. It says find g of f of x in the form of ax square plus bx plus c, which is the general form of quadratic equation. That means we are going to get a quadratic equation when we will expand g of f of x. So f of x is 3x plus 2 and g of x is x square plus 1. So g of f of x will be, place entire f of x in place of this. So can we write g of 3x plus 2? That is equals to 3x plus 2 the whole square plus 1. Clear? And now we simply have to expand it using the identity a plus b the whole square, which is a square plus 2ab plus b square, right? So it's going to be 9x square plus 2ab. So 2 into 3x, 6x, 6x into 2, 12x, plus 2 square, that is 4, plus 1. So that is 5. So we can simply write 9x square plus 12x plus 5 as our final answer. Clear? So we are moving on to the next part now. It says find x when f of x is equals to g of x. F of x is 3x plus 2, and when it is equals to g of x, that is x square plus 1. First, rewrite it in its general form or separate it. So can we write x square minus 3x plus 1 minus 2 equals to 0? X square minus 3x plus 1 minus 2 equals to 0. So we can write x square minus 3x minus 1 equals to 0. Right? Now we have to factorize this to get the answer. What will be the factors? Hello?
Can't we do directly like 3x plus 2 is
Well,
equals
it's
to
G7, not GX.
Oh, this is g of 7. Wait.
yeah.
This is g
It
of
will be
7.
50.
I thought it's g of x. Okay, g of 7 means we have to substitute 7 in place of g of x. So g of 7 is going to be 7 square plus 1, that is 49 plus 1, 50. Hence, we'll put 50 over here. So simply 3x is equals to 50 minus 2, that is 48. 3x equals to 48, x equals to 48 by 3. That is
16.
15.
16. 16.
Wait, 6 18, 16. 16. It's 48. So 16 is the answer. Moving on. F inverse of x. F of x is 3x plus 2. Step 1, write it as y function. Y equals to 3x plus 2. Swap the variable. Write x equals to 3y plus 2. Make y the subject of the equation now. So x minus 2 equals to 3y. So y equals to x minus 2 upon 3. And that's your inverse function. X minus 2 upon 3. Clear? Moving on to the last part, f. Oh, there's two more part. G of x upon f of x plus x. G of x is x square plus 1 upon f of x is 3x plus 2. And they are also telling us to add x separately. X. Give your answer as a single fraction in terms of x in its simplest form. So first we have to find the single fraction, and then we have to check whether there is a simplification possible or not. So can we write x square plus 1 plus x multiplied by 3x plus 2 whole divided by 3x plus 2. So this will become x square plus 1 plus 3x square plus 2x whole divided by 3x plus 2. So that is going to be 4x square plus 2x plus 1 upon 3x plus 2. Right? This is question 18, part F.
That's 19F.
It's 19F? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the answer. 4x square plus 2x plus 1 upon 3x plus 2. But it says in its simplest form. So we should always check once whether the numerator, which is a quadratic equation, can be factorized or not. In this case, this is the final answer. It cannot be factorized. Moving on to part G, it says find x when h inverse of x is equals to 2. So we have to find the value of x, right? So what we can do, h inverse of x is equals to 2 multiply by the h function both side. So this will cancel out. We'll get x equals to h of 2. So x will be 4 raised to 2, that is 16.
And sir, I had a question. Like generally only this type of question comes. And is it possible that the question may be that find the inverse of h function? Does that type
Generally,
of
no.
question comes?
No. They will not. Exponent, for the exponent function, they have not asked the inverse function of the exponent function because it's very long and you also have to apply logarithm, which is not a part of the IGCSE 0580 syllabus.
Okay, so that won't be asked.
Now, moving on to question number 20 now. It says p is equals to 2 raised to 10 plus 3 raised to 8 multiplied by, everything is multiplied, 2 raised to 10 multiplied by 3 raised to 8 multiplied by 7 raised to 5. They're telling us to write 12 times p square as a product of prime factors. So first let's try to find p square. What is p square? 2 raised to 10 multiplied by 3 raised to 8 multiplied by 7 raised to 5 whole to the power 2. So that will give us 2 raised to 20 multiplied by 3 raised to 16 multiplied by 7 raised to 10. Can we write like this? This is the p square value, but they are telling us to find 12p square. So let's factorize 12 also, because ultimately we have to write it as factors. So 12 can be written as 2 into 2 into 3, right? 2 into 2 into 3 means 2 raised to 2 into 3 raised to 1. So now let's write down 12p square as, first I'm writing 12 as 2 raised to 2 into 3 raised to 1. And now I'm writing p square, which is 2 raised to 20 into 3 raised to 16 into 7 raised to 10. Now keep the like terms together. 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 20, 2 raised to 22. Then 3 raised to 1 and 3 raised to 16 will be written as 3 raised to 17 and multiplied by the left out, which is 7 raised to 10. Hence this is the answer. 2 raised to 22 into 3 raised to 17 into 7 raised to 10. That's the final answer. Clear? Any questions in this?
None.
Perfect. Let's move on to question number 21 now. It says, okay, based on vectors, in the diagram, O is the origin, OT is 2 times TD. OT is 2 times TD. That means this is 2 units if this is 1 unit, right? Just for understanding. M is the midpoint of TC. M is the midpoint of TC, means they are like 1 unit. If this is 1 unit, that is 1 unit. If TM is 2 units, MC is also 2 units, or 3, 3, 4, 4, which the reduced ratio is 1:1 only because it's a midpoint. It says find the position vector of M. Whenever they are asking the position vector of any point, that means what do we have to find?
OM.
Perfect. OM we have to find. Now to find the OM, we can write down what route we would like to take. First, let's mark OM.
OT plus TM is OM.
We can check. OT plus TM, okay. So OT plus TM. To find OM, either we can do OT plus TM or we can also do OC plus CM. It says OC is C. OC is C, mark it. OD is D. So the whole OD length from here to here is D, right? If OD is D, that means can we say OT is 2/3 of D? 2/3 of D, and this is 1/3 of D, right? So let's write it down. Okay, but we need TM length. OT we have now. OT is 2/3 of D. We still have to find TM. So to find TM, we have the data. M is the midpoint of TC. Let's find TC first. So TC is going to be OT plus, sorry, TC is going to be TO. Perfect. TO plus OC. TO is minus 2 by 3D because we are going in opposite direction. Plus OC is only C. So the answer will be C minus 2 upon 3D. That is TC. But we need TM. TM will be half of TC. Right? So we can write it as C by 2 minus 1 upon 3D. Right? This is TM. And we can use it here. OM will be OT. So OT is 2/3 of D. Plus TM is C by 2 minus 1/3 of D. Add the like terms. 2/3 of D minus 1/3 of D will be 1/3 of D, but C by 2 plus 1/3 of D, and that is OM. That's the answer. Clear? Any questions in this? Hello?
Just 1 minute, just 1 minute.
No problem.
So if suppose we leave it in 2D plus 3C upon 6, will it be considered, or we have to do it again in the simplest form? 2D plus 3C upon 6.
That is also correct, but we should leave it here. You cannot simplify any further what you said beyond that, but because these are two different terms, C and D, right? We should leave it individually.
Okay, sir.
So this is your final answer. Okay. Question number 22. We have cube root of y square is equals to 6 root of x, and y is equals to n root of x. Find the value of n. In such questions, it becomes difficult to understand where to start from, right? Always check what is asked. They are telling us to write y in terms of root n of x. So let's start from here. We have cube root of y square is equals to 6 root of x. Okay. Can I write it in exponent form like this? Y square to the power 1 upon 3, which is equals to x to the power 1 upon 6. Can we write like this? Okay. What is the agenda? The agenda is to eliminate the powers of y. Then only we will be able to write y is equals to something root of x. So first, how can I reduce the power of 1 by 3? By multiplying the power of 3 both sides like this. So this 3 and 3 will cancel out. So we'll get y square. We'll get y square is equals to x to the power 3 upon 6. 3 upon 6 is 1 upon 2. Now, I repeat, the agenda is to write y in terms of x, not y square. So how can we eliminate this power 2? By multiplying with power 1 by 2 both sides. So now this 2 will cancel out. We'll get y is equals to x to the power 1 upon 4. And x to the power 1 upon 4 can be written as 4 root of x. Hence, the value of n is 4. Clear?
So please wait for 2 minutes on this question.
No
I have
problem.
to write it down.
And if you have any confusion in this, how we are solving this to anyone, You can please ask me. I'll help you with this. Arav, is this clear? Hitarth, Mitlesh, Vardhan, Johan, Kanshi, Surarchit, do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, feel free to ask your doubts. The more doubts we will clear here, the lesser mistakes we'll make in the exam. Yeah?
So you can proceed. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on. Question number 23, it says, rationalize the denominator, giving your answer in its simplest form. So whenever we have to rationalize the denominator, let's check whether the denominator is a binomial term or a monomial term. This is a binomial term. If it is a binomial term, you multiply with its conjugate. So root 6 minus 1 upon root 6 minus 1. So the numerator will become 45 multiplied by root 6 minus 1. And the denominator is in the form of root 6 plus 1 multiplied by root 6 minus 1. Now we have the expansion of a square minus b square. That is a plus b multiplied by a minus b. Hence, the denominator can be written as 6 minus 1, because root 6 square is 6, 1 square is 1 only. 6 minus 1 is 5. So 45 root 6 minus 1 upon 5. 5 ones are 5, 5 nines are 45, hence 9 multiplied by root 6 minus 1. Clear? That's the final answer. 9 root 6 minus 1. Or if you want to multiply it, you can also write it as 9 root 6 minus 9. If you multiply 9 inside the bracket. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Let's move on to question number 24. It says, Tanya plants some seeds. The probability that a seed will produce flower is 0.8. When a seed produces flowers, the probability that the flowers are yellow is 0.3. Red 0.6, yellow 0.3. So others will be
0.1.
0.1. The question is asking, Tanya has a seed that produces flowers. Find the probability that the flowers are not red and not yellow. Not red and not yellow. That means others. That is 0.1. Clear?
So if we do not red as 0.4 and not yellow as 0.7, 0.4 into 0.7.
0.4 into no, that will not give you the answer, because that is randomly from the whole stack. But it says Tanya has a seed that produces flowers. So that is only for when a seed produces flowers.
Okay.
So that is only one option left, which is not red and not yellow. That is 0.1. So the statement, we have to understand the statement. You will understand which lot we have to check.
Okay.
Part B, it says complete the tree diagram. So produces flowers, yes or no. If yes is 0.8, no will be 0.2. And the color, red is how much? 0.6. Yellow is 0.3. And the other colors is definitely 0.1, the remaining one. Yeah? Because the sum of all the probability should always adds to 1. Second part, it says find the probability that a seed chosen at random produces red flowers. Find the probability that a seed. So what's the probability for red flower? 0.8. 0.8 multiplied by 0.6. So it produces flowers and it should be red. So 0.8 multiplied by 0.6. Clear? So this should be how much? 0.48. Let me cross check. This is question number 24. I'll tell you the answer. Question 24, yes, 0.48, B2. B second part is 0.48. Moving on to the third part, it says Tanya chooses a seed at random. Find the probability that this seed does not produce red flowers and does not produce yellow flowers. Tanya chooses a seed at random. Find the probability that this seed does not produce red flowers and does not produce yellow flowers. We have to see the conditions. First condition is it produces flowers and the other color, right? Because we don't have to consider red and yellow. That was the case. Red we don't have to consider, yellow we don't have to consider. So the first case is 0.8 and 0.1. Second case is only 0.2, right? So it will be 0.8 multiplied by 0.1 or means addition 0.2. So this is going to be 0.08 plus 0.2, which is 0.28. That's the answer. Clear? Any questions?
None.
So in such cases, see, the easy option is directly 0.8 into 0.1. Common error made by students in the examination, they miss out on the second possibility. There are two possibilities where it says Tanya chooses a seed from random, not only where it produces flowers, right? So there is a second option also where there is no red color and no yellow color, right? There is no red, no yellow, no others also. Okay. So we'll move on now.
And when should we use multiplying by 2?
Multiplied by 2. Okay. I'll answer your question. And I think that is in part C. Because they are telling us 2 of the seeds are chosen at random. 2 seeds are chosen at random. Find the probability that one produces flowers and one does not produce flowers.
Oh, so we'll use it for the orders.
Yeah. Because we don't know which order. It says find the probability that one produces flowers. One produces flowers and one does not produces flowers. Produces flowers is how much? 0.8. Does not produce flowers is 0.2. So can we say that 0.8 multiplied by 0.2 or means addition? 0.2 into 0.8. So either you write plus or you simply multiply the first one by 2. That's the same thing. What I am doing, I am listing down both the possibilities. It says find the probability that one produces flower and one does not produce flower. So produce flower 0.8, second, not produce flower is 0.2. But how we are so sure? It will be in this order only. So I am taking the possibility of second order also. Does not produce flower and produce flower. So instead of doing that, if you want to do 2 multiplied by 0.8 into 0.2, you will still get the same answer. So 2 multiplied by, this is going to be 0.16. So 0.32 is your final answer. Clear? So this was the case. Let's move on to question number 25, and I think this is the last question now. Question number 25, it says value of y when y(x) is -1. So y is equals to -1 to the power 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by -1 to the power 3. So this is 1 and plus 4, that is 5. Find the coordinates of the two stationary points on the graph of this. So now we have to find the stationary point. For the stationary point, we should know the concept that, so whenever there is a stationary point, and I can take any graph, let's say this graph, cubic graph, dy by dx is 0 at the stationary point. We all know that. So it says find the coordinates of the two stationary points on the graph of y equals to this. Let's find dy by dx first. Dy by dx will be 4x cube minus 12x square. And we have to equate this to 0. 4x cube minus 12x square equals to 0. let's take common from the term 1 and term 2. So 4x square is common. We can write x minus 3 equals to 0, right? And then you equate both the factors to 0 separately. So from here you will get x equals to 0, from here you will get x equals to 3. That means the x components are 0 and 3. So when x is 0, find the value of y. Y will be basically 0 only. 0 raised to 4 minus 4 into 0 raised to 3. That is 0. And when x is 3, find the value of y. So y will be 3 raised to 4 minus 4 multiplied by 3 raised to 3. So 3 raised to 4 will be 81 minus 27 into 4. Oh, this is 4 into 27. That's how much? I'm doing this here now. So that is 81 minus 7 4s are 28, 8, 2 carry, 4 is 8, 9, 10. So 81 minus 108, that is negative 27. Clear? Any doubts, any questions in this?
No.
Okay, let's move on to part B now. It says y is equals to x to the power p plus 2x to the power q dy by dx. The first derivative is given to us as 11x raised to 10 plus 10x raised to 4. It says find the value of p and the value of q. So we know that if we'll differentiate the first term dy by dx, we will get p x to the power p minus 1 plus 2q x to the power q minus 1. By comparing the coefficients of both the terms, we'll get the value of p and q. So the coefficient of x is p here and the coefficient of x is 11 here. That makes p equals to 11 directly. Second, the coefficient of x is 2q. Here the coefficient of x is 10. So can we write 2q equals to 10? So q is equals to 5. So p is 11 and q is 5, and that's the answer. By comparing the coefficients.
And many times only the question is like framed like find the derivative of the function y, like that. So in that it is generally for 2 marks and not 1 mark. And whenever I've corrected those type of question using the mark scheme, in that the mark scheme does not show any working, but it shows kx square plus 1 value or 1 value plus kx, something like that. I did not understand that.
For
So
these
is
kind
there
of
any
questions,
marks for working or
for
not?
these kind of questions,
No, not for these.
then
Only derivative पूछा है for one like
if it's a see,
one
if
of
it's
the
a one marker, if you have checked the
no
mark
no
scheme properly, if it's a one marker, you can write directly. If it is not a one marker, you have to show the working.
but in the mark scheme there is no working shown. It shows like kx square plus 3x or else 4x square plus kx. That
So when the working is sometimes when the working is too less,
हाँ.
it is not mentioned. You do the working for any question which is more than 1 mark.
Okay.
Any question which is more than 1 mark, we have to show the working. How we are approaching to the answer. There must be some method.
So
Yes, so that we have to show.
So in even this also, right? So there are two values and still we have to show the working.
Yes, we are showing both
For
the working.
surety.
Yes, we differentiated
Haan.
the function. No, this function we just differentiated. It was in the form of variable. We differentiated.
Haan.
And then using the method of comparing the coefficient, we are comparing p. So p with this, p is 11. 2q is 10 over here. 2q is 10, q is 5. We are writing the answer 11 and 5. Done?
Okay.
So with this, we are done with the entire paper. Any questions?
None, sir.
None?
What was the duration of this paper?
The duration of both the papers are 2 hours. We just finished it in 1 hour and 35 minutes. We still, and in this paper right now, I was explaining you each and every question. You don't have to explain it to anyone. That means ideally a paper can be solved in 1 hour. In 1 hour, you can solve the paper. This is for 2 hours. That means 2 hours are more than enough to solve the paper and to also cross check all your answers. Okay. Would you like to cross check any answer?
Oh, not as such. Yeah.
Okay. Ideally, you should do, but because we have to move on to the second paper, we have to do that also. So now we will have break of exactly 15 minutes, and then we will come back and start with the other paper, that is Cal paper. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys can stay here in the call, and we are going for a break now. So I'll just present this. This is the break time, and we'll come back sharp at 2 p.m. Bye, guys.
Join the community. Be a math builder.